Hey y'all, thank you for tuning in to We Talk Weeklies After the Talk on WPPM LP Philadelphia.
Yeah, this is one of the hottest radio shows that talks Charles's favorite segment, love and relationships. Whatever. Gives the good news and the bad news, and of course, the latest in entertainment news with the sizzle.
Dope. Yeah. So make sure you keep it locked to We Talk Weeklies After the Talk with your boy Charles Gregory and the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle.
Every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on 106.5 FM.
Yeah. I gotta get that.
That's the remix.
That's the Diddy. You know what I mean? I gotta start. I got see. My voice isn't low enough, man. I got one day my voice would be. Sometimes I like to get it low. Oh, I got lower. Sometimes I can't even get this low. But it's all good. It's your boy Charles Gregg with the beautiful
Lauren Sizzle.
And the beautiful Classy Lady Spark was definitely in the building. Say it one more again.
Classy Lady
There
Spark.
we go. Classy Lady Spark was definitely in the building, man. And so today, what we like to do sometimes, we've been doing something new as it relates to how guests are here at the show, because since we've been, like our friend from Ghana, we've been having a lot of people reaching out to us now. You know, the show is gaining momentum. The show is gaining wheels, and we're excited about that. We have Yannick. He's in Africa right now. Where's Yannick from? You remember where Yannick from?
I forget.
I know he's in Africa. I forgot where though. But I mean, we've been having a lot of people contact us from all across the nation. I mean, internationally, all across the country. I mean, everywhere, and we're excited about that. And today we have somebody that's calling in. Also, somebody with whom I have a tremendous amount of respect for. So, Lauren Sizzle, who do we have today?
So we have Stephen, and please forgive me. Stephen is a Cuoco. Is it Cuoco or Cuoco?
Steve,
you there? So we have Stephen Cuoco. He's the founder and CEO of United Angels Dream Your Second Opinion Resource Company, Image Magazine International, Journeys Find and Model Me VIP, and he was raised and grew up on the East Coast in a suburb outside of New York City.
Okay.
He self-studied before applying the valuable knowledge he gained authoring the international bestseller, Guided Transformation, Poems, Quotes, and Inspiration. He has extensive training in executive sales and creative experience. He incorporates his knowledge as a management consultant, strategist, and a certified emotional intelligence specialist in all areas of his offerings. Stephen has been featured on CNN, iHeartRadio, CW, Fox, Forbes, syndicated radio shows, and in top magazines worldwide. He has worked on a diverse variety of projects as an advisor and judge of international and domestic talent, and has been interviewed and his initiatives written about as a celebrity PR person and national media expert by outlets such as CNN, Fox, and Forbes. Welcome to the show, Stephen.
Welcome to the show. What's up, my brother? How are you? You there, Steve? What happened? I don't hear you no more. So as we try to get Steve back on, let me tell you about this brother right here. Brother from another mother. He's so versed in his specialty, in his craft, right? He's a celebrated publicist. Mm-hmm. And as you heard, all of the credentials that he has, and he's just been a fantastic brother. I think he jumped on. Steve, you there? All right. And so, you know, why don't we just tell him to call the station? So, Steve, call the station. We'll just work it out from there. And so you're talking about somebody that is decorated and does very well with what he does. I think I hear him. Steve, you there? I thought I heard him. Well, he could call the station. Call the station, Steve, and we'll go from there. And so as I continue to talk about him in a good way, we had the opportunity to meet Steve from our last interview with, what was his name?
Justin Reese.
I think I hear Steve. So, Steve, if you're there, just kind of keep talking if you want there. Oh, here we go. Somebody calling. So, check this out, ladies. No, they're calling in on there.
He just hung up from there.
Oh, he just hung up. So he'll probably be calling the show in a minute. Yeah. So he'll be calling the station. And so when you're talking about someone who is good at what he does and he loves the people that he works for, that's what he do. He loves the people that he works for and works with. And he has this, I want to say, this gift of reading you specifically. I mean, telling you what's in your innerness, what is good as it relates to what he's feeling about you and how you are. Like, he can kind of like read your palm or something. I mean, he's just like,
I think he has like over 20 years in the industry. And like when you're in it for so long, you know, you kind of like, yeah, like you said, you develop that ability to be able to, you know, read people and establish relationships and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
good. He's good. And so we had Justin Reese on the other day, and he's a dynamic guy. What was the show he's on right now?
He's on
The Art of Charm.
Bravo. Yeah, it's like Southern Charm.
Southern
something
Charm.
Like that. Yeah,
that's right.
On Bravo TV network.
Yeah, and so Justin Reese, he's kind of like he's an attorney. Is he an attorney or he's studying law at this point?
He is an attorney.
So he's an attorney, and he had the opportunity to talk a little bit about the trial that went on with what's her name?
Amber
Geiger.
Yeah.
Right. And so he expressed or kind of gave his position on that, and a lot of people are very upset.
Stacy?
Oh, so look who joined us. He is an attorney. So Steve, can you turn down
Alexa, turn off radio.
Yeah, turn off your radio for me. There we go. Got a little bit of feedback. How are you, my brother? How are you?
I'm doing awesome. I just turned it off. I have to tell you.
Yeah.
You have to tell Alexa play WPPM radio.
Wow.
Okay.
That's cool. The only way I can pull you up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, hold on, and she just did it. Alexa, turn off radio.
Alexa, chill.
I know how about that. Alexa, pause. Right? But you sound crystal clear right now, which is great. And so
I have to say,
go ahead.
I have to tell you real quick. Stacy asked if we could do FaceTime. So I'm sitting at my dinner table. I just was eating a salad, and I texted her back. I said, I've got mud mask on my face. I said, you want me to take it? And I had like 7 minutes until like she wanted me to call in at 7:25. So I'm like, you want me to take a shower real quick? She's like, no, don't worry about it.
That's right. Because we keep it. It's something that we say here. We keep it a bean here, all the way real.
And he just did.
So I said, you know what? Tell him to come on and keep that mud mask on, and let's do the show.
Yeah. He did.
No doubt.
I did. I still have it on too.
But anyway, while we're here, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about you. Let's gush about you a little bit. We had the opportunities while we was trying to work out those technical difficulties with you calling in. We were talking about you just a little bit about pretty much your extensive background and your resume and all the things that you bring. And let's start from the beginning. I mean, let's start from you as being a publicist first and foremost. And then let's talk about some of the other qualities that you have, because I think it starts to create who you are.
It's a good question. I thought we were just going to sit and chat and like have like a little tea party. I didn't know it was going to be a topic.
Well, we got to get the people to know who you are, because I think you're going to be joining us a little bit more often.
You know, to put it simply, Charles, and I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And hello, ladies.
Hello. Charlie's Angels.
You done started
Charlie's
something.
Angels.
Yeah, there you go. You know, to put it like, here's the thing.
Right.
You know, I was going to become a prosecutor for the state of New Jersey. I was the first one in my family not to go in military, not to go in law enforcement and stuff.
Right.
But I always loved the idea of law to represent, but I didn't I didn't want to have to go to college, to just deal with all of that and then be stuck in a courtroom, because sometimes let me put it this way. Back when in my early 20s, I didn't like to lose. I even cheated at board games. I just did not like to lose. And Monopoly's my favorite. But
God, I will flip a table if somebody had
I used to keep money hidden down by in between my legs. But the thing of it is like I really public relations, most people really don't understand. And I always ask people, what do you think PR is all about? And commonly, and it's okay, they think it's about making someone famous and it's all about media. That's like half of 1% or 1% of it. It's 99.99% people. And the moment you start talking about terms and conditions, policies and procedures, law, products, goods and services and stuff, you're working with people, and there's two things that human beings do. They either move towards pleasure or move away from pain. There are some people that do find pleasure in pain, to a certain point, depending on where the mental health is at with the person. But it really is, when it comes to e-commerce, when it comes to business, a lot of emotional, mental health and well-being and awareness and education goes with it. So I always say a master is a student and teacher all at the same time. So all of us, we all do PR, but we all do it at different levels, under different circumstances, and in different environments. So with that being said, when I first started out, I started in the health and holistic community. Right. I then worked my way into independent publishing, working with independent authors, then incorporating, doing more with magazines, newspapers at the time, radio. And then I ended up getting really into the hub of entertainment. The reason why I really wanted to do that first and foremost, even though I can do it across the board in any genre, but I must be passionate about it. I must care about, and I should care about what you do, how you do it, and understanding so that I can be my best so that you can be your best. That's true public relations, right. Besides the whole media. So with that being said, and I'm just processing here, it really is now where we're at, and what really inspired me is friends of mine, whether in reality television, in the music industry, we all see the fluff that's out there. The smoke and mirrors is what I call it. And, everybody has a job to do. And it's unfortunate that with 8 billion people in the world, that we have enough news and enough great stories to go around. And I love how you guys do the segment, Good News and Bad News. I find that very very smart, but yet very informative at the same time. It brings a nice balance of hard and soft of what is needed. Right. But at the same time, really what I was passionate about, and once again, what I learned at a young age, is mental health. When you think of back in the 90s, it's always been important, but in this day and age, it really is. And one of the biggest things that I have really no tolerance for when it comes to people who represent anyone, whether you are a chemist doing cosmetics or a beauty line, or you're a fashion designer, if you're a politician, really public relations is about mental health and mental awareness, because you're breaking down the logistics, the science, the mechanical mechanism of how a person and how their brain works, how they process what they say, how they say it, the inflection, the body language, the tone. There's so many intricate details that go into it. And what really moved me is the lack of care when I started in public relations, or realized where marketing and advertising, where PR was at, is it's more than just numbers. People are not just a commodity. They're humans. And I thought to myself, all right, I'm not going to change the business. I'm just going to do what I can do to at least spread some education that human beings need to stop being treated as a thing and being treated more as a person. Even if you're selling products, no matter what it is you're doing, if you are a human being and you are producing some sort of education, content, resource, access, information, what is the mental health and care that's got to go into it. So that's the really, really base and foundation of why I've been doing it for 24 years, why I still do it, why I work independently, but then I work and get hired by companies. I have no problem working with nonprofits as long as I know that I'm able to help the greater awareness when it comes to the emotional mental health of the entire organization and being. So to sum it up, to finalize, like in answering this question for you, Charles, is I really got to a place with friends and connections in the industry, from the suicide to the drug addiction to the alcoholism. Right. They, talent, especially in the entertainment industry, really have no help. Mm-hmm. And if they did, and sometimes I can have a sore spot when it comes to management, because I understand that management's responsibility as a representative is to establish paid work. It's very much a more difficult job than being a real estate agent or even being a politician at times. But at the same time, check in with your client, check in with your people, take notice of behavior pattern changes. And one of the biggest things, like what happened to Avicii, the EDM artist, right. As you know, of which happens to most, is their behavior is not held accountable for. Even if they are spoken to or counseled, there really is a lack of enforcement to say, if you're going to continue in this manner, this can cost you a sponsor, this can cost you an advertiser, this can cost you a reputation. And a client's going to do what they're going to do. You can only do so much. Right. However, there shouldn't be, no matter whether there are shareholders, there is no amount of money in this world that should treat a person or a company as such an expendable investment to let someone get to a point or definitive place of either killing themselves or down outright to lose who they are as a human being and collapse themselves into such mental and emotional distress to where then you've got to hospitalize them. Right. I can be very deep about this, but I like to be very transparent, which I'm very good at, Charles, is the fact that that's public relations, is there to assist, is there to ask questions, help in the process, do not dictate. And I just wish more people and more companies would understand this, especially those that charge $10,000 a month for a monthly retainer, and all they do is sit behind a computer or their phone, type up some do-do-do-do for $10,000, and really nothing is done. And they're not even, and some, from what I've been told, people who've come to me with referrals to help if I can clean up someone else's mess, work with your client. Right. Be aware of who they are and what they're doing and ask questions. Stop telling Steve, how a person should be.
And the funny thing about that is I had a few questions that, you're so good that I had about 4 questions that you already answered in your response to my first question, which is amazing. And it's a testament of not only your character, but also your wealth of knowledge that you already have, right? And so, man, we only got about 7 minutes left. This is what I want to do, right? Because we're excited that you are going to be visiting this show more than just a day. So we're excited about that. That's why we was gushing about you a little bit. And so before I let you go, I need for you to just kind of, I'm going to throw you a curveball. You ready for it?
I'm always ready.
All right. And so this is something that I asked.
No, that's right.
This is something that I asked you. I'm going to give you about a minute to answer. So I always ask this special question to special guests, right? So I want you to tell me the one thing that no one else knows about Steve that you're going to tell us right now. So you already got your mud mask on, right? So I want you to dig into like that little, that little bag that got all your, accoutrements and all that good old stuff, your colognes and perfumes and the makeup and all that old good stuff. Dig all in there, right? And pull out that one thing no one else knows about you.
That I'm in a space and place after speaking with a good friend of mine today, and he was somewhat going through the situation. God led me to, I always pray every day for guidance.
Right.
I've gotten in, seriously, like I wake up every morning and I'm sliding into home base, Charles. Don't worry, I'm getting there. I'm on first right now. I'm coming to second. I wake up every day, and I have learned at the age of 45 years old, I have learned that trying to control situations and outcome and waking up every day, instead of asking, how can I be of service? Or what I like to ask is, okay, Lord, what do you have planned for me today? Right. I'm looking forward to my at least one surprise. It can be anything. It can be simply to find out something that I didn't know about myself, or maybe to face that I was too scared to admit about myself, of where I was at emotionally and mentally my time, because I do a lot of self-counsel. Right. But with that being said, I woke up today. I knew today was going to be a very special day, and I did my morning wake up. I was like, all right, Lord, what do I have to learn today? What do you have for me today? And after speaking with my friend Kevin, I was sharing with him where he's in a space is that even with all the people that I've had the blessings to work with, even with all the things that I am so grateful to have accomplished, and I do have to, and I mean have to, realize and self-counsel by saying, Stephen, when I start feeling moody, when I start feeling sad, when I start feeling vulnerable, when I just don't feel at my best, and it's about self-worth. That's what all of us are looking for in this world. Mm-hmm. I've always been, having been a child that was adopted and coming from an environment to where I was in a position to where either I thrived, not survived. I could not survive my environment. I had to be strategic to learn how to thrive. What can I do to find success? And I realized that I grew into a behavior pattern that if I'm not doing, if I'm not being, if I'm not feeling productive, I can get sad very easily. Not depressed, but feeling like, wow, like God's put me here in this world. I should not be sitting on my couch watching TV. I should not be asking, what should I be doing next? I like to have purpose. Unbelievable. So with that being said, I'm in a place to where, and this is where I'm being vulnerable and very transparent. I'm in a place to, once again, I've done everything that I could possibly do. I've done everything that's been gifted to me by God so unexpectedly, but now I'm in a place to where really everything is in God's hands. It's in the universe's hands. I am like literally in the passenger seat of my life right now, because I'm in the middle of two things. I'm in the middle of to where I get phone calls, Instagram messages, emails, literally every day. I'm opening up at least one, and I don't like to exaggerate, I'm opening up at least one sort of type of content, and it's someone asking and my advice. They're needing help,
Steve.
And yeah,
well, I hate to cut you off. We got 2 minutes left, and I got to close the show. But I want you to hang on, because we're going to call you back and continue this conversation. That's right, y'all. So let's listen up, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, we had Steve on, and guess what? You're going to hear more of him, because he's not going anywhere. And you know why he's not going anywhere? We're going to talk a little bit about that a little later. But I don't want y'all to go nowhere. This is your boy Charles Gregg. Check this out. We Talk Weekly After the Talk podcast is on now on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Castbox, Spreaker, and now on Podcast Addict. Check that out. Make sure you follow us on podcasts and binge listen to our shows. Like and follow us on our We Talk Weekly Facebook page. Download the little TuneIn app. Look for WPB on P106.5 FM. Tune in every Tuesday at 7 p.m. at We Talk Weekly's After the Talk. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at We Talk Weekly, at Charles Gregg, at Lauren_, at Sparkle Prices 1. Subscribe to our We Talk Weekly YouTube channel. And we are now verified on Dailymotion. So go to dailymotion.com/We Talk Weekly and follow Dailymotion, us on Dailymotion. And if you're in Philly, catch us Monday night, 9:30, Comcast 66, Fridays 5:29:30. We Talk Weekly is now higher than 7. You go to higher7.com, subscribe, and look for who?
We Talk Weekly.
Oh my goodness. Check this out. We Talk Weekly is now syndicated. You can find it in Atlanta, Birmingham, Birmingham, Chicago, Delaware, Houston, Jacksonville, Los Angeles, Miami, New Jersey, Philly, and all across the nation. Who do you look for?
We Talk Weekly.
Unfortunately, we gotta go, ladies and gentlemen. You know I love you. And more than anything else in the world, just remember, if you ain't here, you a square, because this is where all the cool people at. We are the kings and queens, but we'll see you on the other side. Hello.
Peace, y'all. Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Lauren Sizzle, and you are tuned into one of the hottest talk shows in the nation, We Talk Weekly's After the Talk. Make sure you tune in each and every Tuesday at 7 p.m., and you can listen anywhere. Just download the TuneIn Radio app. Look for WPPM 106.5 FM on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. And I got some good news for you. You want to binge listen to our shows? Follow We Talk Weekly's After the Talk podcast on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spotify, and Spreaker. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to check out all of our amazing shows and event coverage. And follow We Talk Weekly on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And most importantly, keep it locked.